My new cookbook, Felidia, is almost kind of a dedication and a gift or an acknowledgement of Felidia restaurant, which was opened in '81. So 40 years of a successful restaurant in New York City. That's, I think, somewhat of something to celebrate, let's put. And the book actually pays a kind of homage to Felidia and all the people that have made it what it is. But ultimately, it includes all the recipes, the dishes that we can't take off the menu from Felidia because people love them. Each restaurant that we have is unique in its own way. Felidia is the restaurant where I became the chef in '81, a young woman Italian chef. So it was quite a kind of a new world, a revelation of this Italian young woman, the chef of a restaurant. And at that time, I began cooking regional Italian food. So, Italy has 20 regions. And the Italian food that was known in the Americas was the Italian-American food. But here I was in '81, a young woman chef bringing the regional Italian food. And so it got a lot of acknowledgement for that. And it remained as a kind of a messenger of the true Italian cuisine. The show is Lidia's Kitchen, but the theme is celebrate like an Italian. And so it's a whole book dedicated to dishes that are very congenial to kind of celebrate with. So dishes that you would make for multiple guests, not necessarily for two, but recipes that are part of the Italian festivities, recipes that will kind of are forgiving, that will keep a while. So if you make it even a day before, how you can bring it back. So it's a book that not only it's recipes, but we also have drinks. How do you, a nice aperitivo, Italian style with little hors d'oeuvres. So it's the style, the Italian style of entertaining, and the recipes to do it with. There is none. Depends on the mood, depends on the season. It's like a favorite child. Do you have one? Each one is at different times. Depends on how they behave. So, I don't think I have one single recipes, but I do have a special place for pastas in my heart. And I love braising, long cooking techniques. One of the great rewards of being on television and being in America, I'm 20 years, here on Tele Latina, I'm 10 years, and that's a long time to enter into people's homes. And what it does is actually transgenerational, where I see that I actually affect different generations within the same family. They come to my book signings in 3 generations, granddaughter, grandma, and mom. And for me, that's very rewarding, because what I get is that those transgenerational tell me, oh, you show me how to make the recipe that my grandmother didn't know how to write it down. She would cook it all the time, but she didn't know the quantities. She would say a pinch of this and that. You kind of quantified it for me. And these people relate. Remember, my recipe looks almost like the ones that their grandmother made, so it's a kind of a way for them to recall. But what also I love is that I enter into different ethnic cuisines. Not only the Italians or Italian Americans, but the Americans across America. Canadians watch me and cook my food in their home. Different ethnicities, whether it's Vietnamese or Chinese or Japanese or Afro-American. I get these customers. They come to my book signing and they tell me how much they appreciate it. And it's just, for me, it's an extreme satisfaction, great honor to be able to kind of become part of those families which are not ethnic Italian. I see the fans a lot when I go out and do events. So I love doing events in a sense of fundraising or book signing or like here in Italy in the stores. I'll go in, I'll give a demo, the cooking class and whatever. And there's always some surprise that comes. And so, initially, the men were surprising. Now, men are the ones that are cooking, and young men and retired men. So, that's great. And then, of course, the different ethnicities. Sometimes you get like two generations. I specifically remember this, it must have been Chinese. And so this young Chinese woman with this older Chinese, it was her mother or grandmother. And when she brought her up to me, the grandmother sort of was laughing. She couldn't speak English, but she recognized me and she connected. So here it is, a woman of a certain age of a completely different culture, not speaking, never mind Italian, not in English, but connecting to my food and to me as a persona, as a cooking persona. And it's great rewards in life. I think, professionally, you have the designated sous chefs, and you do have one is better than the other in different fields. So, as a chef, knowing who does good what and putting them in that position, that's part of leadership. But if I am at home or at home, I like to change. I like to, within the family. I first, of course, my children, but now I discarded them. It's all about the grandchildren. And the grandchildren, first when they're small children, they like to get their hands dirty and whatever. Then there's a period that, they don't want to know about grandma or food, the teenage period. Then they enter into college and almost manhood, womanhood. They want to know how to cook again. And so I love, mine are at this stage, and I love having them back. Not only them, I love them bringing their friends. And how proud they are of what grandma is, you see, and grandma is teaching their friends how to cook. So, I am, so gratified that how my grandchildren are proud of me as a grandma, as a human being, and on a really one-to-one level with their friends as well. There's Felidia now, the new cookbook that just came out, and before that, what I'm very proud of is My American Dream, which is my biography. And my biography is a story of immigration, not unlike what is happening today and what happened to a lot of the Italian people here, their trip to a new country, to forming a new home and becoming part of another culture. It's, I was 12, but my mother was 40 something. It's not an easy trek especially for adults. When they come, they don't speak the language. So, continuing that message, I guess, and in today's time, which is very important. We just, of course, opened Eataly here in Toronto. We are working on Eataly in Dallas now. Yes, so that's another one. We are working on a whole other series of episodes. I filmed 26 episodes all in one shot, and I'll be going to Italy to film the B-roll to insert in these shows. So watch out, keep on watching TLN, because there's new shows coming, and of course a new book. And so the growth of my children, my son and my daughter, now very much involved in the restaurant as a business. So that's, I let them kind of lead that, and I work with the chefs here and there on the menu. The regular things of life. Life goes on. My wonderful life goes on. I came Toronto. I've been coming, since my show's time, but I came to Toronto way before, because it's a beautiful city. It's high concentration of Italian immigrants. But the beauty of Toronto is that it's quite international. It's a city that opens itself to different nationalities, and I like that, because I'm an immigrant and I like seeing that. So let me tell you, every time I come, and I come here now more 3, 4 to 5 times a year, there's cranes all over. So I think it's, structurally, I think they're like mushrooms. The buildings are going up. So I think it is the the fourth largest city in North America. So, you know, it's a city to contend with, but it's a good city. You feel good being here. I think, you know, when we look where we opened Eataly, and we have a whole research teams on, you know, it's on different levels. It's the size of the city, it's location, also real estate, you know, and you always look for collaborators in each city because we don't go cold, you know, you go with people from the city. And so when we find those elements and sort of lead us to a positive feel, if we feel it's a good economical situation and a good potential, we make it happen. I come to Toronto often because I love the city. It's a beautiful city. Now I have a business. I'm part of Eataly. I collaborate for the last 10 years with TLN and having my shows. So I am connected to the Canadian and of course Torontian community. But coming to Toronto, you know, coming into a city and being part of a city means really getting involved in the fabric of the city. And that means supporting the city. Last month I was in town and I was part of a great charity, actually the Villa Charities. And it is an organization, the Columbus organization, which supports and funds houses to take care of the elderly. Italian basically, but all cultures are welcome. And it is such a wonderful, kind of rewarding feeling to be able to, yes, you go to a city, you connect in positive and you'll do business, but also to give back. You know, most of you watch my shows, you know that I have a 99-year-old mother. She lives with me and I'm blessed to have her and to take care of her. But a lot of elderly people don't have that opportunity. So to be able to be part, to chair a fundraising like the Villa Charities event that we had last month, and all the profits went to benefit these houses to take care of the elderly, Villa Charities. So keep it in your mind.